Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Yesterday, while I was streaming, I played a really textbook matchup and I thought it would be a really good one for you guys to learn from. So I decided to analyze it on stream and I thought it would be good to upload it here as well. If you do like the video, go ahead and like and subscribe. And also don't forget to check out my stream over at twitch.tv/ShokLol. Otherwise, enjoy the video. Okay, so like LeBlanc versus Lissandra, early game, you kind of have to just like not do a whole lot. Like the problem is that like when you're playing like LeBlanc versus Let's, right? Your cooldown, if you start W, your cooldown is like 18 seconds. And now against some champions, what you can do is as LeBlanc, you can like auto W auto, and then like even if you can only do it once on the first wave, it's still like a pretty good trade, right? Like that's a lot of damage. But against Liz, it can be kind of scary to start W because there's the chance that she starts W and then just W's you in the wave, which makes the damage not worth it. And also another problem with starting W is that if you start this like really long cooldown ability, it's very difficult for you to punish Lissandra using Q on the wave. Like Lissandra also is not very good in lane early, but like her kind of strength in lane comes from the fact that she can just like push. And if you can't contest the cooldown, then she just gets to push for free. So instead, I start Q because Q is 6 seconds against Lissandra's 8 seconds. So it actually means that like I can be threatening her whenever her Q's on cooldown, and it just means I don't have to like back off the wave a long time. So straight away, I do like a little cheese where I kind of want this wave to be on my side because LeBlanc has really good gank setup, so does Lissandra. But I want to set up for my jungler and not be gankable by hers. And also, LeBlanc's just not very good at like trading on people up here because you have to like dash into them. So I want the wave on my side, but I know Lissandra's going to push it to me anyway because like she has a pushing ability. So even if I order the wave, it's still going to come to me. So just to make sure it comes to me a little later, I'm going to just auto it. So I get 2 autos before she's even got her first one, which means that it's going pretty good. There I got auto space, which is unfortunate. But here what I'm trying to do is like, every time she's going for a creep, I'm trying to get her to like use her ability to get it. So if you play aggressively when people go for CS, it forces them to use the ability on it. And if they use abilities for CS, like 1, it means like they can't harass you. So like obviously here I got hit as well, but like ideally you position off to the side and don't get hit. But 2, she can't like spam it, just pushing the wave. So that's like really good, I would say. I'm like really happy with how that goes. And then every time I have my Q up and she's like going for creeps, I like try and get that Q out of her. And then while her Q's on cooldown, you can like play more aggressively, right? Like you can play like this, make her scared, keep forcing her to use spells to CS. Because like ideally, right, if you're the Lissandra in this situation, you just want to CS with autos and Q LeBlanc. But I'm like not really letting her do that. So yeah, so far it kind of looks like nothing has happened, right? But what has actually happened is that the wave's in like a better spot for me than it should be. Like it should be that she has like a pretty big minion advantage by now, and instead it's like pretty much even. Like it's like slightly to her, but like pretty much even. And then like here, this is yeah, I was like trying to get the ability out of her, but she didn't use it. This was all pretty whatever. Once you get level 3 as LeBlanc, that's when your trades like start getting really, really good. So I was like here, I was kind of like waiting until I get E. And then I was just, so right now I was thinking, okay, I'm going to try position on CS. So the Lissandra uses Q, and then when she does, I'm going to go for the trade. So like right here, when she used Q, I was like, okay, I'll probably go for a trade. But she had like quite a lot of creeps. So I was just like, okay, I'll wait a bit. It's not a huge deal. And then again, right here, I was like thinking about it, but there's still too many creeps. I kind of have to wait for this wave to bounce back out. Here again, I'm like, I know she's gonna queue these 3 creeps. Like this is the most queuable 3 creeps of all time. I was just like waiting for this, and also I was like leaning her to my jungler because the really nice thing about being on your side of the lane is that you don't really have to lean to your safety because you're not really gankable. And so she uses Q. Even if Rengar weren't here, I would have traded here because I know it'd be winning. But the fact that Rengar is here, means I get a kill. Here against TP, you kind of have to base first. If she didn't have TP, I probably would still freeze it, but like you could push it. And then, yeah, after that, like the lane was pretty doomed, honestly, because like if you look just at the combat stats, like I kind of have more. Also, I'm like higher level. So then from here on out, I was pretty much just always like trying to make her use Q for CS. So see how like if I stand here, she feels scared to go for that creep, so she uses Q. But then the punishment of her using Q is that she gets traded on. And I just like rinse repeat that over and over pretty much. Of every time she uses, I like try and force out a cooldown. And then when she uses a cooldown, I look to trade. Like the reason I did that was because she used W and E on the previous wave, and they've got really long cooldowns. So the rest of it is like kind of whatever. I pretty much just like did that over and over. And yeah, she pretty much lost. I kind of need to make a video on cooldowns in general, because I talked about it in my laning guide, but it still comes up in my coaching sessions enough that like I feel like people don't really know it as well as I thought I taught it, you know what I mean?